Hey, you got a few minutes to hear the real failures and successes of a normal guy that's both made and lost millions? Well, that's me. And in a few minutes from now, I'm going to give you my secret for 100% free. That's right, for nothing. And that's the same secret me and my partner have been using to make millions of dollars over the last 2 years. So, let's get this straight. I don't know you, and you don't know me. But I'm willing to bet you're here because you're looking for a way to make more money online. And yeah, that's not much of a stretch for me to make. I mean, why else would you be here? And look, if you're not and you actually don't want to make money online, then forget about it. You might as well just close this video now. Listen, out of all the people watching this video, I'm only looking for the ones that are looking for a new way to make cash from the internet. You gotta be motivated, intelligent, and ready to take the next step for financial freedom. And if you're one of them, then you're exactly the guy or gal I'm looking to work with as the first people outside of me and my partner to use this software. Sound like you? Alright, then keep watching. First, I'm gonna tell you my story. It's about me and how I got to where I am today. It's not all fun and money. It's exciting and sad, and at the very least, it's the type of story you probably only heard in the movies. Only it's not a movie, it's a story of my life. The short version, that is. Alright, let's get to it. I'll start off with the highlights. In 1998, I had $11 million in the bank, 5 homes, and a garage full of luxury cars. By 2012, I was divorced, down to my last $50K, no homes, a Toyota Camry, and I was renting a dumpy one-bedroom apartment. So how'd I let it get that way, you ask? Well, let me tell you. I'll start out at the beginning. I grew up in the Irish South Side of Chicago. My dad was a plumber, and I spent most of my youth in street fights. Growing up there was an experience, definitely dangerous at times, but I learned some very important lessons from the School of Hard Knocks. I learned very young to be a risk taker. You don't get anything that you really want in life if you sit back on your hands and you wait for it. Nobody is going to just give it to you. And you have to be willing to take the chance if opportunity knocks. Your rep really is everything for a kid growing up on the South Side, and you don't want to be known as a chicken. So after high school, I took my first real risk. I never really thought about continuing my education. I mean, nobody went to college in my neighborhood. So at 17, I got a job. My pops convinced me to take a job at the Chicago Board of Trade. He told me that's where the guys are that make the real money. And he knew a few Irish guys down there that he hooked me up with. So I got a job as a runner making $3 an hour. That was in 1984. Ha! That was also the year that the White Sox had a 25-inning game against the Brewers. Man, was Chicago drunk that day. Anyway, I worked hard and I got myself into a badge on the floor by 1986 after only 2 years. I kept at it as a trader in the pit for the next 12 years and made over $16 million during that time frame. It was hard work and high stress. But I was a tough kid from the South Side, so I never quit. Hell, I even came to enjoy the chaos. And the life I was living when I wasn't working made it all worth it. I was 32, at my peak, and life was good. I flew on private jets, went to parties all over the world, and enjoyed the type of luxuries that 99% of people never get to experience. Chicago is a ton of fun if you're young, know the city, and have money. Everything changed for me in 1999, though. Electronic trading wiped out the advantage that us floor traders had, and I just stopped making money. Almost everything changed about my life, basically overnight. Almost none of us were able to adapt, and we were dropping from the pits like flies. I stuck around on the floor for the next couple of years trying to make it work, but we all knew it just wasn't going to happen. I finally realized I needed to change things up. So, from 2001, 2007, I tried my hand at electronic trading. You name it, I tried it. Forex, futures, stocks, options, all of it. But the only thing I was ever able to do was lose money. Sure, I had some decent runs here and there, but I ultimately lost money every single year. It really hit my bank account hard, and I wasn't trading in small amounts either, like I should have been on the screen. It just wasn't in my nature after throwing around millions of dollars every day in the pits. In 2007, I took a break. I wasn't making it in trading anymore, so I had to try my hand at something new. For 5 years, I tried to hold down some jobs, but I wasn't good at anything but floor trading. Either I wasn't smart enough, or the new jobs were not interesting or exciting enough for me. And that brings us back to 2 years ago, when I was down to the last $50,000 in my bank account. Enough to last a year or so, tops. I was 46 at this time and didn't feel a day over 60. One weekend, I was at my local pub having a few too many beers and drinking my sorrows away. It had become a bad habit of mine at that point. Hell, even my beloved White Sox were in the shitter. And we just lost Ozzie Guillen to the Marlins. So I'm sitting there on beer number 8 or 9 or whatever, when I noticed my buddy's kid at the bar. This kid was like 19, drinking at a bar with a fake ID, which is exactly what me and his dad did at that age. That apple didn't fall far from that tree, I guess. So I go up to the kid and we get to talking. His buddy was there with him. This really nerdy Indian kid who was about to finish up at the University of Illinois. His name was Raj, and when he found out that I'd stopped trading, he asked me why. I told him I hadn't made any money on the market since 1999, and he just laughed. He told me he just developed a futures trading program that was licensed by one of the biggest brokers in New York. This was making huge money for him, and he made about $1 million just on the licensing. He was a cocky little prick, but I actually respected that part of him. Raj ended up showing me the software he had built. This kid is a borderline genius when it comes to programming, and his software was pretty much flawless. I knew that he could have made a lot more money if he'd simply used the software for himself instead of licensing it to that broker. So I let him know about it, and he said that he would have, but he just didn't have enough knowledge on the financial markets and how they work. Today, Raj is now my business partner, and he's been absolutely killing it at the age of 22. I was able to convince him that I knew enough about how the markets work, and we started working on developing a new software system almost immediately after we met. We basically rewrote his original software, but applied it to options. I can't really get into the details here, but the damn thing just works, and I was finally back on my way to the top. We're both making millions with this thing now, and we've decided to call it the Chicago Traders Code, or CTC for short. It took us a while to get going, but CTC started making us money as soon as we launched it. Seriously, this thing beats the hell out of traditional trading any day of the week. I rarely do any work now. I just launch CTC, and it does its thing. The only thing I have to pay attention to now is my bank account. I actually made enough money in the first couple of months to move out to California, Silicon Valley to be specific. It just kind of felt like the right thing to do, considering we had just developed our own software. Plus, the weather in Palo Alto in January is just a bit better than it is in Chicago. So where do you fit into all this? Well, like me in that bar a couple of years ago. Today just happens to be your lucky day. We've been testing CTC out for the past year, making money, ironing out the bugs. Hasn't been easy, but we're now ready to release it to the public in a limited amount, of course. We just need to make sure that our software can handle the extra traffic. Now, if you're watching this right now, it means the CTC software is about to be made available to you. There's no other place to get CTC right now, and as I said before, we're releasing a limited number of copies. So, I'm betting that if you decide to pass on this, or wait until later to set up your account, this opportunity is going to pass you by because availability is going to go quickly. Alright, your time is up already. It went by pretty fast, huh? In another few minutes, you could be making money with the Chicago Traders Code software. But set up your account right now. Remember what I told you about risk takers? Well, all your risk is a few minutes of your time. So access the CTC, and I promise you, you will not be disappointed.